So, Big Brother's watching us, and I feel it's our duty to keep him entertained. I like to imagine vast buildings of people employed to watch a particular citizen, and they probably have to kill them after they're done. I mean, that would be a pretty high turnover rate, because who the hell is just going to want to sit and watch somebody forever and know that anytime they tell on them or like make a note in their file, it's just one step closer to the gas chamber for them. You know, we don't really know what our government's going to do with all this information. We just know that it can't be good. I mean, they spying on us, keeping all this like file of who's a terrorist and who has ideas that are un-American. That in itself is un-American, and they know that. That's not a surprise to them. They don't care. So it's like a war where you really need to kill people. I mean, very rarely would I say you need to kill people, but in this war, it really seems like the best way to solve it is to find out who the fuck cares and kill them, because nobody else does. Nobody wants this system to be the way it is. We want to go back to when it was like we thought that we thought we were being represented. We thought that if we were loud enough and like showed our support for a cause, that eventually the government would say, "Oh, guess what? Our citizens are in support of this. We should do that too." No. Our government regards us as a bunch of retards to be dealt with until said time in the future when they can just lock us all up and forget about us. That would be so much easier for them, don't you think? They could just go back to playing golf, and it'd be so quiet. Think about how quiet it's going to be in the New World Order, George Bush's New World Order, where all of the liberals and most of the Democrats are enslaved behind bars of their, or just dead, or maybe on the moon or Mars or at the bottom of the ocean where they can't do anything. You know, it would be so quiet and Republican everywhere. It would just be wonderful. I mean, imagine that. I mean, all you'd hear in the morning was like, you know, at 5:30 in the morning, you'd hear trucks and all these people delivering supplies to all the people who demand them, and then all these capitalist gears just clicking until it was time for lunch and luncheons and lunch meetings and lunch presentations and then long lunches and power lunches and discussions of you know, business, because it seems like Republicans really like business, and they could have little chats in the afternoon, but it would be mostly quiet because everybody would just be working at their little computer, most likely just spying on their neighbor and watching the camera footage of the people, you know, across the street. But God forbid you should ever actually see those people and know who you're spying on. You know, that's probably why all of the spy centers are in somewhere like I don't know, Afghanistan. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, kind of like Pakistani telemarketers or something. And all the people spying on us probably don't even understand our culture well enough to know what they're spying on. It's not a culture you can understand anyway. You just have to be here, pretty much like any culture. I wonder how you get to be a Republican, though. Like, do you just have to stay pumped up all the time? Like, you never let your guard down and soften about anything. You got to be hard. The Republicans always seem staunch, and I wish I was more staunch. Like, I have stench sometimes, but just being staunchy in general is not my forte. I'm pretty easygoing, and as far as I can tell, being easygoing is kind of liberal. Yeah, liberals are easygoing, and if you're easygoing, well, you're probably a liberal, and you're probably destroying the moral fiber of our country, and you should be shot, or at least sentenced to something bad. But not too bad, because in America, cruel and unusual punishment. However, we'll drown you to within an inch of your life. That's not cruel or unusual, because, hey, everybody's doing it. It's not unusual, and, well, we said it's not cruel. Don't you believe us? Just like, yeah, terrorists. Yep, watch out, terrorists.